All right, for the second part of this lesson, I am going to walk through parts or questions 1, 2, and 3 of your math journal pages that you're going to be turning into me today. So I would suggest that you grab your math journal page and a pencil and you follow along with me so you can copy down the same answers, and then you only will have to do page 2, which is 4, 5, and 6. So for number 1 here, it says each member of the flute section of Briar Woods Elementary School band practiced for 2 3/5 of an hour last week. There are 5 flute players. What is the total number of hours they practiced? So I noticed 5 players, they each practice for 2 3/5. So for my number model here, 5 times 2 3/5 with an unknown of h because we are trying to find out hours. So make sure you have that. And then it says show 2 different ways to solve the number story. So my first way, I think I'm going to do repeated addition. So I'm going to do this 2 3/5 plus 2 3/5 plus 2 3/5 plus 2 3/5 plus 2 3/5. I should have 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. Then I'm going to start by adding together the whole numbers. So 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. I have 10 wholes, just using my whole numbers of 2. And then I'm going to add the 3/5 plus 3/5 plus 3/5 plus 3/5 plus 3/5. Just like this. So 3/5. So I'm just going to add the numerator. You just add across that top number. I know that the denominator stays the same. It's going to be 5. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 when I add across those numerators or that top number. So before I add my 10 plus 15 fifths, I am going to simplify 15 fifths. 5 goes into 15 3 times. So I will have 10 plus 3, which gives me 13 hours. So another way you can do this is the partial product. And this is the same example that we did on the last page. So I'm going to show you partial products now, down here where it says another way. I may have to go over a little bit or erase because I don't have a lot of room, but that is okay. So first I'm going to start by dividing that 2 3/5 or splitting it apart to 2 plus 3/5. Then you are going to take that times 5, and you're going to times that 5 by each part. 2 times 5 and 3/5 times 5. Well, I know 2 times 5 is going to give me my 10. And then I need to do 3/5 times 5. 3/5 times 5. This is where you're going to multiply that numerator, that 3 times 5, and your denominator stays the same. So that's where I get my 15/5, which we said can be simplified into 3. And then I will just solve 10 plus 3 to get my 13. So when I'm going to erase this here so we can see our next questions, it says answer. So I'm going to put my 13. And then it says, how many minutes is that? 13 hours. How many minutes is that? Well, if I look over here, I know that we have 60 minutes in 1 hour, right? So we are going to take that 13 times 60. 13 times 60, which when I solved it, gives me 780 hours, or minutes, 780 minutes. So we're going to put that over here. 780, it's a little messy, I know, it's okay. We'll erase this 5. And then how many seconds is that? And this is where I will let you use a calculator if you would like. You know that there are 60 seconds in a minute. So if we have 780 minutes, then we need 60 seconds. We're going to do 780 times 60, which gives us 46,800. And you are going to write 46,800 seconds. That is a lot of seconds that they played flute. All right, so that is problem 1. I know it's kind of messy and it was kind of quick, so please let me know if you need help, but I only have so much time on here. So we're gonna skip over here and do 2 and 3 together. Oops, gotta get my cursor. And then I'm gonna clear my screen. So for problems 2 and 3, we are just multiplying a whole number by that mixed number. So you can do these ones any way you want. You can use partial products, repeated addition, like I said before, any way that you feel comfortable. For this one, I am going to do partial products. So I am going to take my 3 and 2/10, and I'm going to make it 3 plus 2/10, and then I'm going to multiply by 3. So 3 times 3, I know, is 9. And then 3 times 2/10. I'm going to multiply across the top. 3 times 2 is 6. That gives me 6/10. Then I'm going to add 9 plus 6/10 will give me 9 and 6/10. Very good. So that is your answer. I'm going to just write it 9 and 6/10 over here so I know where it goes. And then I'm going to do problem 3, which is 2 times 7/10. And I'm also going to do partial products again, just so you can see that and get familiar with that new strategy. So 7 plus 7/10. I'm going to separate those apart. And then I'm going to times them each by 2. 7 times 2 is 14. 7/10 times 2. I'm going to do 7/10 times 2. Remember that top number times the whole number would also be 14/10. Can that be simplified? Yes, because 10 can go into 14 one time, and I will have 4/10 left over. So 1 and 4/10. And then you are going to add this 14 plus this 1 and 1 for 4/10. 14 plus 1 and 4/10, which will give me my final answer of 15 and 4/10. And once again, I'm going to write it up here. So even though my page is messy, I still can see. And there you go. You have problems 2 through 3. Like I said, I know this was quick and short. Let me know if you need help or have any questions. All right.